Good evening. Welcome to the Distinguished Alumni Awards presentation. I am Miguel Zorrilla, class of 1992, and president of the Southwestern University Alumni Association. Annually, our community celebrates the Southwestern experience through our Alumni Awards program during Charter Day weekend. Unfortunately, Charter Day was disrupted in February by an ice storm. Regardless, we gather tonight around the country to lift up achievements within our community. It is on evenings like this that we take a few moments to remember how Southwestern made an impact on each of us, and now how we each are making an impact at Southwestern, within our local communities and in the greater society. There is much for us to be proud of in Southwestern University, and especially for what our graduates have been able to accomplish after graduation. Tonight, 5 alumni will be honored with a Distinguished Alumni Award. The work they do and have done makes our community better, stronger. They bring distinction to Southwestern University and to the Southwestern University Alumni Association. They are carrying forward the standard of excellence that Southwestern set forth for us. That is, what you do, the actions you take, the contributions you make, the effect that you have on the world that matters most. So with that, I want to share my heartfelt appreciation and congratulations to each of our honorees. Tonight, we celebrate you and your achievements.
Since graduating from Southwestern with a bachelor's degree in business nearly 12 years ago, Hector E. Ruiz, class of 2010, has become one of the university's staunchest supporters. Ruiz has been a recruitment volunteer since 2010, representing Southwestern at college fairs and other events. He is a member of the Hispanic Alumni Connections Group and the LGBTA Alumni Connection Group, and serves as homecoming planning coordinator for both groups. He is a Giving Day ambassador and regularly writes letters and emails to his classmates to encourage them to give back to the university and participate in reunions and other activities. In many ways, Hector is just as involved with Southwestern now as he was when he was a student. Hector's heart is with Southwestern University, says Ruiz's sister, Nuria Ruiz Segovia. As a high school senior, Ruiz was attracted to Southwestern's interdisciplinary approach to education and focus on positively impacting the local and global communities. He was involved with a number of organizations while on campus, including the Coalition for Diversity and Social Justice, Latinos Unidos, Ebony, the University Programming Council, Student Congress, and Sigma Delta Pi. These experiences cemented Ruiz's passion for supporting and serving others. Ruiz went on to earn his master's degree in accounting from the University of Texas Pan American, now the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Today, he is a senior staff accountant with McClelland and Russell PLLC in Harlingen, Texas. Christine Kettle-Bowman, class of 1993, Dean of Admission and Enrollment Services at Southwestern, notes that Ruiz's presence at admission events in South Texas has been particularly impactful. He not only explains the value of a liberal arts education at these events, but also shares his own experience as an undergraduate and discusses how Southwestern supports students from all backgrounds and perspectives. Hector's Southwestern experience has both motivated and inspired several students to apply and eventually enroll, Bowman says. His love for Southwestern radiates when he speaks to prospective students and their families. Ruiz has held 2 roles on the Alumni Council, the governing body of Southwestern University Alumni Association. He served as Class Relations Chair from 2012 to 2016 and as Student Recruitment and Retention Chair from 2016 to 2018. He has helped raise more than $25,000 for the student organization Pirates for Pride, which invited him to speak at its Lavender graduation ceremony in 2019, and has formally mentored 6 students through the Alumni Network Mentoring Program. In addition to his volunteer work with Southwestern, Ruiz is involved with a number of community organizations. He currently serves as president for the board of the South Texas Equality Project, STEP, and as treasurer for Texas Pride Impact Funds. He also is the coordinator of the LGBTQ+ Youth Initiative Scholarship Program for the Teach for America Rio Grande Valley PRISM chapter, the facilitator of the LGBTQ+ support group at Mariposa Wellness Center in McAllen, a member of the League of United Latin American Citizens Rio Grande Valley Rainbow Council, and a volunteer deputy registrar for the Northern Cameron County Democrats. Hector is a deeply loving and caring soul. Everything he does is from a place of gratitude and love, says Heraclio Flores, who serves on the board of STEP with Ruiz. My favorite part of working with Hector is seeing his eyes tear up with emotion as we do meaningful work that contributes to creating safer and more affirming spaces for LGBTQIA+ persons in South Texas. For his inspiring attitude and unwavering commitment to Southwestern, the Southwestern University Alumni Association is proud to honor the person with the most ribbons on his name tag every homecoming, Hector Ruiz, with the Distinguished Southwestern Service Award.
Friends, family, and pirates near and far, it is with great honor that I accept this year's Alumni Association Award for Distinguished Southwestern Service. If we have ever had the opportunity to meet before, you will know that Southwestern holds a very special place in my heart, and it plays a big role in my everyday life. My Southwestern experience started shortly after I graduated from high school. I still remember the exact day and the exact moment that I arrived at Southwestern for a tour, and I immediately knew that this shy and very nervous kid from South Texas had found his forever home. And I chose to trust my heart that day, and I'm forever grateful that I did. I could stand here and talk for hours and hours or possibly days about all the different stories and great experiences that I've had because of Southwestern. Instead, I want to share with y'all a very popular question that I get when I'm volunteering at college fairs on behalf of Southwestern. So when I tell prospective families that I graduated from Southwestern in 2010, the first question I get is, what was your favorite thing about Southwestern? And my answer is always the same, and it's the community. I tell everybody that I meet that Southwestern is a family, and that we're a close-knit community that learns together, we celebrate together, and we grow together too. We encourage each other to be the best possible and most authentic versions of ourselves. And I've had a transformational experience at Southwestern that was in large part because of all the support I received from my professors, from the staff, from my amazing peers and alumni. And it was while I was at Southwestern that I really learned the meaning of the word purpose. Southwestern's core purpose and mine are very well aligned, and it is to contribute to the well-being of humanity. The Southwestern community has consistently inspired me to be a voice for the people who don't have one, to stand up and fight for my rights and the rights of others, and to continue my own journey of growth and self-discovery. I want nothing more than for other people to experience the same transformation that I did and to help them discover their own purpose in life. We live in a world that keeps changing every single day, and a question that I continue to ask myself and others is, what are we doing to create a more positive impact in the communities that we belong to and ultimately change the world for the better? So to all my pirates out there who are watching from home, I have a message for you. I encourage you to reconnect with your Southwestern family, whether it's been a year or a decade or even a century since the last time you reconnected with Southwestern or somebody in the Southwestern community. I want you to know that there is and there will always be a community ready to support you, to inspire you, and welcome you back home to the place that we call home. And I like to end this with a quote that I hold near and dear to my heart, and it's, "Home is where the heart is, and my heart is at Southwestern."
Harald D. Burkhardt, class of 49, parent class of 80, led a long life of service and sacrifice. From teaching piano to young Black students who didn't have a music class at their segregated school in the 1940s, to helping older adults find food and fellowship during the COVID-19 pandemic today, the United Methodist Church minister dedicated his time and energy to those in need. He exemplified many of Southwestern's core values in his 72 years since and before his 1949 graduation, says Burkhardt's daughter Rebecca Burkhardt, class of '80. He not only served as a spiritual leader, but also brought his church community together to erect new buildings and build new ministries, especially with and for the youth. A first-generation college student, Burkhardt graduated from Southwestern with a bachelor's degree in religious education. His mother, a piano teacher, instilled in him a love for music, and during his time at Southwestern, he sang in the choir, played trumpet in the university band, and was a member of a dance band that performed at various social events on campus. He went on to receive a master's degree in religious education from Duke University in 1950, before beginning his career in ministry as an associate pastor at Alamo Heights United Methodist Church in San Antonio. After moving to Dallas and earning another master's degree in divinity from Southern Methodist University in 1956, Burkhardt served as pastor for churches in Lytle, Kingsville, El Campo, and Brownsville. In 1973, Burkhardt was named president of the Methodist Mission Home, now Providence Place, in San Antonio. During his 21 years in that role, he ministered to over 2,000 expectant single mothers and placed 1,800 babies in loving homes for adoption. Under his leadership, the organization added a new ministry, providing education and job training for hearing-impaired young adults. He also maintained his enthusiasm for learning, earning yet another master's degree in healthcare administration from Trinity University in 1984. After retiring in 1994, Burkhardt continued to serve the church in a variety of ways. He directed the financial campaign for the construction of a new headquarters building for the Southwest Texas Conference of the United Methodist Church, now known as the Rio Texas Conference, raising more than $3 million. In 2002, his ministry career came full circle as he returned to Alamo Heights United Methodist Church, serving part-time as pastor to older adults until 2014. I witnessed his integrity, professionalism, and dedication to service, says Debbie Mann, class of '79, who was close friends with Burkhardt's daughter Rebecca. I am particularly proud of his open support of the LGBTQ+ communities in his church, church conference, and Southwestern. His daughter Becky and I are members of the LGBTQ+ community, so his support was especially meaningful to me. Burkhardt was a tireless supporter of his Southwestern. He made an annual gift to the university and established the Burkhardt Family Endowed Scholarship for Music with his daughter Rebecca. He returned to campus many times for homecoming, even driving his beloved candy apple red 1968 Mustang convertible in the parade. And in 1981, Burkhardt was awarded an honorary doctorate of divinity, one of Southwestern University's highest honors. Everyone I meet who knew my father expresses such respect and adoration for him. It makes me proud to be his daughter, says Shelley Wiebel. My children look to him as a role model and someone they choose to emulate in life. His welcoming smile, bright eyes, and open arms have made the world a much better place. For his outstanding service to the United Methodist Church and contributions to the community, the Southwestern University Alumni Association is proud to honor the late Harald D. Burkhardt with the Distinguished Humanitarian Award.
This is Rebecca Burkhardt, class of 1980. My sister Shelley Wiebel and I are accepting this award for our father, Harald Burkhardt, class of 1949. He prepared the following remarks for the ceremony, which was canceled earlier this year. It was fall semester 1946 when I came to Southwestern. I lived in Mood Hall. I had interest in music, sang in the choir, played the trumpet in the school band, and took piano from Professor Iola Bowden. She and Nettie Ruth Brooks, a student music major, found out that even in 1947, the segregated Negro schools in Georgetown had no music taught in their schools. So the pastor and congregation of Georgetown's First Methodist Church arranged for those students to ride school buses once a week to the church, and we music students taught them piano. In 1964, as pastor at the Methodist Church in El Campo, Texas, during federally mandated integration, I had our church-related public school teachers gather early that fall to talk over their integration plans. I felt that this great national move went better for both teachers and students that year and in the years to follow because we met. During my 21 years as president of the Methodist Mission Home in San Antonio, we served over 2,000 young women, placed 1,800 infants into the loving arms of waiting adoptive parents, and soon after I arrived, we began a rehabilitation ministry for deaf young adults, training them for independent living, getting jobs, and enhancing their lives. Over 1,000 deaf youth were served during that time. I certainly credit Southwestern for building my ability and for motivating me to help meet these important needs of human lives across my lifetime. And so I say, as do so many of you, thank you, Southwestern, for your guidance in years past. And thank you, too, for those who nominated me for this very special Distinguished Humanitarian Award. As his daughter, I would like to add that Harald was extremely supportive of the reconciling ministries of the UMC and of the LGBTQ+ community.
Born and raised in Harlem and New York City to two immigrants from Mali, Africa, Khadijatu Magassa, class of 2013, has long been passionate about supporting and empowering marginalized communities. As a teenager, Magassa served on the Youth Leadership Council of the Harlem Children's Zone, a nonprofit that works to break the cycle of intergenerational poverty with comprehensive, on-the-ground programming that builds opportunities for children, families, and communities. She also was instrumental in the development of HCZ's Umoja Media Project, an award-winning community development project that brought together the West African and African American communities in Central Harlem. She was in the 9th grade and was already clearing a path to be a dynamic leader focusing on global human rights, marvels Hassan Mohammed, Director of Strategic Partnerships at the nonprofit Community Education Building in Wilmington, Delaware, who was a department manager at HCZ at the time. When it came time to choose a college, Magassa was drawn to the close-knit community atmosphere at Southwestern University, where she majored in international studies with a disciplinary focus in political science and a geographical emphasis on Africa. She studied abroad twice, once in Lesotho and once in Mali, and was active with the Coalition for Diversity and Social Justice, which provided her with opportunities to work with at-risk populations throughout Texas. After graduating from Southwestern, Magassa joined the Peace Corps, serving as a preventative health volunteer for 3 years in Senegal, West Africa, where she taught school children about bacteria and the importance of hand washing and trained healthcare providers to detect and prevent malaria. After returning to the U.S., she worked briefly as a domestic violence case manager at Sadietu's Center for African Women and Families before joining HCZ as a strategy coordinator. She later served as an interim assistant director of a parenting program at HCZ called the Baby College. Khadi made an immediate impact at HCZ, and I've been impressed with her work ethic, determination, humility, caring, openness to feedback, desire to learn and improve, meticulous organization, willingness to take on any project or task, and initiative and resourcefulness, says Lauren Skopaz, Vice President of Strategy and Operations at Stanford Cradle to Career in Stamford, Connecticut, and former Director of Strategic Initiatives at HCZ. Khadi is one of the most driven young women I know. She is tireless in both her personal and professional desire to improve the lives of others and fight for human rights. While leading the Baby College, Magassa and her team worked directly with parents and caregivers of young children during weekly sessions that covered appropriate discipline, early immunization, and healthcare information that ensured adequate care at home. During the COVID-19 pandemic, she successfully transitioned the in-person program to a virtual format, ensuring parents still had the resources and support they needed. Now, a diversity, equity, and inclusion program assistant and student in the Master of Public Administration and Development Practice program at Columbia University's School of International and Public Affairs, Magassa is exploring how the relative inclusion of diverse groups in Americans' national identity can strengthen its work with foreign nations. She hopes to serve as a Foreign Service Officer for the U.S. Department of State after graduating. I know that it is only a matter of time before Kadi joins the growing legions of powerful women leaders who shape the global landscape. The ambassadors, the senators, the prime ministers, and the vice presidents, Mohammed says. Kadi is cut from the same cloth as these women. She continues to impress everyone with her fierce commitment to human rights and human excellence. For her commitment to the well-being of humanity and passion for making the world a better place, the Southwestern University Alumni Association is proud to honor Kadi Magassa with the Distinguished Young Alumna Award.
Hello, my name is Kadiata Magassa, Southwestern University class of 2013. I'm overwhelmed with joy and gratitude to have been selected to receive the Distinguished Young Alumni Award. Thank you to everyone who mentored me and provided me inspiration during my time at SU. It's because of people like you, as well as my experiences inside and outside of the classroom, that I'm well positioned to make a difference in this world today. Thank you to all of you who are here to share this occasion with me. It means a lot to have my accomplishments recognized in this way by SU, and it also means so much that my passions and what I really care about and the work I'm doing resonate with so many other people. Thank you again.
Hi, I'm Sherri Babcock, Chair of the Nominations Committee of the Southwestern University Alumni Association. The next two awards are for Distinguished Professional, presented to Southwestern University alumni who have performed exceptional civic and/or professional services in a given geographic area or field of endeavor. Recipients represent the highest standards of Southwestern University's commitment to a values-centered curriculum, development of the whole person, and they exemplify Southwestern University's core values. This year, we had a very competitive field for this award, and noticed that we had two professionals whose careers are in those fields most affected by the ongoing COVID crisis: education and health. As we read the citations, you will hear how each of them adjusted and recreated their callings in order to address the current needs of the people they serve. I will read the citation for Jason Schayot, class of 1997. When Jason Schayot took over as Fine Arts Coordinator and Director of Bands at L.V. Berkner High School in Richardson, Texas in 2015, he inherited a highly regarded program with a rich history of excellence and hundreds of trophies lining the walls of the band hall. But Schayot wasn't intimidated. Instead, he took the program to the next level. In 2016, under Schayot's leadership, the Berkner Symphony Orchestra had the honor of performing at the Midwest Clinic, the world's largest and most prestigious music education conference. That same year, the Berkner Marching Band advanced to the Texas UIL State Marching Championship, and 3 years later, the Symphonic Band 1 performed at the Midwest Clinic. While many great educators have come and grown the program, Jason did this differently. He did it through the eyes of a father, husband, leader, and educator, says Jeff Bradford, Executive Director of Fine Arts for the Richardson Independent School District. He uses the many different leadership roles he plays in life to provide every child with exactly what they need at just the right time. And while his focus is music excellence, He uses band and music education as the vehicle to help others achieve in all aspects of their life. After graduating from Southwestern with his bachelor's degree in music education, Schayot taught in Giddings and Georgetown at both the middle school and high school levels. In 2011, he returned to Richardson, where he himself went to school as a child, and worked alongside his sixth grade band director, Frank Troika, who was his predecessor. Jason is a community figure whose influence extends beyond the walls of the school, Troika says, at a time when most teenagers pull away from their parents as they test the waters of their emerging independence. Jason provides opportunities for parents to stay a part of their children's lives by way of concerts, community events, and volunteer opportunities. It is a community within a community. As music educators across the country struggled with teaching virtually during the COVID-19 pandemic, Schayot adapted quickly, pioneering online performance. True to his generous spirit, he was eager to share the secrets of his success and presented a session to fellow music educators titled Simple Solutions for Virtual Performances at the 2020 Midwest Clinic, the 2020 Texas Bandmasters Association Convention, and the 2021 Texas Music Educators Association Convention. Schayot's generosity isn't limited to his students and colleagues. Every time I had a dream I wanted to follow, Jason gave his immediate and full support, usually before I could even finish explaining why I wanted to do it, says his wife, Molly Barnett Schayot, also class of 1997. He has always wanted the same level of fulfillment for me that he wants for himself. And that is the definition of real love and partnership. Schayot has received a number of accolades throughout his career. In 2019, he was recognized as a Richardson Independent School District STARS Teacher of the Year, an honor awarded to only 10 of the 2,500 teachers in the district. Most recently, in October 2021, the Recording Academy and Grammy Museum, the Grammys, named him a semifinalist for the 2022 Music Educator Award, which recognizes current educators who have made a significant and lasting contribution to the music education field. And not to ignore Jason's other accomplishments, he has held the Guinness World Record for watermelon spitting distance since 1995. His commitment to serving students, staff, and the Berkner High School community is second to none. While he's a great musician and educator, he's an even better human being, Bradford says. A dedicated husband, father, colleague, and friend, Jason epitomizes excellence and a servant's heart in all aspects of his life. His contributions to Berkner and the Richardson Independent School District will be felt for many years to come. For his inspiring commitment to his field, his students, and his community, the Southwestern University Alumni Association is proud to honor Jason Schayot with the Distinguished Professional Award.
And thank you to the Southwestern Alumni Association for recognizing my contributions to a 25-year career as a Texas public school music educator. I'm honored to be recognized, but I must pay it forward to you saying thank you, Southwestern, for creating a lifelong love for a career that I absolutely adore. And thank you for giving me lifelong connections that I consider as the center to my life. First of all, thank you to Richardson ISD, where I am a proud high school band director, loving what I do every day. I have taught in Richardson for the past 11 years in the district in which I grew up. So I'm homegrown, and I feel constantly encouraged by RISD's support of fine arts education. In 1993, as a high school senior, I was searching for what college I should attend, and Sherri Babcock
suggested I should consider Southwestern. Sherri was the dean of students at the time, and she was so supportive and inspirational to me throughout my 4 years at Southwestern. Southwestern University is responsible for providing me so many lifelong connections. Molly and I celebrated our 24th wedding anniversary this past December. Now, we arrived together as freshmen at Southwestern, and both playing French horn in the SU Wind Ensemble under Dr. Lois Ferrari and in the chamber orchestra under Dr. Kenny Shepard. Now, Lois claims that she was our matchmaker, and I cannot disagree with her. Dr. Shepard one day told the orchestra during a rehearsal that the next day's orchestra rehearsal was canceled. But don't tell Molly and Jason because they won't stop talking. Now, you know what we did? The next day, Molly and I both showed up to the canceled rehearsal, and 24 years later, she and I just can't stop talking. Molly and I were both married in the chapel at Southwestern University in December of 1997, and Dr. Ellsworth Peterson played organ at our ceremony, which was super meaningful to me after learning so much from him in his legendary music literature class. Lastly, to my parents, Emmett and Diane, thank you for paying all those college tuition statements and expensive custom French horn invoices to allow me to connect with the world and connect with my life in such a beautiful place as Southwestern University in Georgetown, Texas. Thank you all.
As a young medical student, Christopher Morgan, class of 2004, was drawn to the field of critical care medicine because of his passion for treating the sickest of patients. Little did he know that that passion would be put to the test years later during a devastating global pandemic. Morgan, now a pulmonary and critical care physician at Baylor St. Luke's Medical Center in Houston and assistant professor of medicine at Baylor College of Medicine, has been on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic for the last 2 years. Baylor St. Luke's receives extremely sick patients who are transferred from other hospitals for specialized care. Morgan cared for some of the very first patients with COVID-19 in the region and continues to treat patients today with this disease. In 2020, Chris began directly caring for patients with a respiratory illness caused by a virus never seen before in humans, while also teaching young physicians in training based on evidence that was effectively being crowdsourced in real time, says classmate Travis Bias, class of 2004. This was a time of great uncertainty among health workers and immense heartache among patients, thus leading care teams while delivering attentive care to patients, many times facilitating communication between patients in isolation and their loved ones, called for a set of skills that Chris was uniquely prepared for. After graduating from Southwestern with his bachelor's degree in biology, Morgan went on to earn his medical degree at the University of Texas Health Science Center at Houston. During his residency in internal medicine, he was named Outstanding Intern of the Year and selected as a chief resident, allowing him to complete a 4th year as a teaching faculty member before starting a 3-year pulmonary and critical care fellowship. Following 11 years of education and training, he joined the faculty at Baylor College of Medicine, where he currently serves as Associate Program Director of the Pulmonary and Critical Care Fellowship Program. Morgan has been recognized for both his excellence and his compassion with a number of awards, including the Baylor College of Medicine Early Career Faculty Award for Excellence in Patient Care and the Norton Rose Fulbright Faculty Excellence Award for Teaching and Evaluation. His calm and compassionate demeanor make him an exceptional physician, co-worker, and professor. During the early stages of the pandemic, patients' families were not allowed to visit their loved ones in the hospital, and Morgan was forced to shift his communication with family members to the phone or tablet. Although this was a challenge, he found ways to help families feel connected, understood, and informed. Dr. Morgan is among my most productive faculty members from any department, says Pat Hurley, professor of medicine at Baylor College of Medicine and chief of critical care at Baylor St. Luke's. But additionally, I know that if we are in a pinch, as we often were during the COVID surges, I could count on Chris to step in, often on very short notice, to fill an extra shift or several. Morgan and his wife, who met at Southwestern, are parents to 9-year-old twins, Ben and Eleanor. Despite his demanding career, Morgan still remains an active husband, father, and friend to many. Chris exhibits dedication to his profession, his patients, and his students, all while remaining committed to his family and his role as a father, says Morgan's wife, Katie Schneider Morgan, class of 2004. His already long working hours were increased during the pandemic, yet even during the spikes of infection, while under tremendous stress and emotionally exhausted, he would return home and pour his energy into our children and our family life. I personally attended Southwestern with both Chris and Katie, and his wife was a sorority sister of mine, so it's my immense honor as a member of the Alumni Association to be able to recognize him with this award. So, for his exceptional professional achievements during the COVID-19 pandemic and his exemplification of Southwestern's core values, the Southwestern University Alumni Association is proud to honor Christopher Morgan with the Distinguished Professional Award.
Thank you so much for honoring me with the Distinguished Professional Award for this year. Prior to coming to Southwestern, I thought that I wanted to be a research scientist. I came to Southwestern for the opportunity to get a top-notch biology training while getting a broad liberal arts undergraduate education. As many, my exposure while at Southwestern forever changed me and propelled me toward my career in medicine. I attribute much of my success professionally to Southwestern. Southwestern not only prepared me well with the knowledge and the experience for admission and success during medical school, but taught me the leadership skills and the approach to learning to continue to adapt and be successful in practice. As an academic clinician, I provide direct patient care, but I also educate and train medical students, residents, and fellows. My professors at Southwestern provided great examples of educators for me to model. Southwestern's small class size, emphasis on group learning, and leadership opportunities provided a strong base for me to work within and lead a multidisciplinary group of practitioners to care for critically ill patients within the intensive care unit. We have all been affected by this pandemic in innumerable ways. As a critical care physician, I found myself as part of the front line of a pandemic I never expected. Professionally, we were forced to rapidly adapt our practice for what seemed like ever-increasing numbers of patients, interpret rapidly changing data, and apply new processes for our clinical practice. The continued learning and critical thinking emphasized within Southwestern has been helpful during my professional career, but was more evident during this pandemic. I thank the Southwestern community and all the faculty, especially within the biology and chemistry departments, including my advisor, Dr. Emily Niemeyer. I thank my parents who always encouraged me and made Southwestern a possibility for me. I also thank my wife and fellow Southwestern alumni, Katie Schneider Morgan, for always being there for me during my many years of training and during all of our adventures we have had along the way. I also thank my two children, Ben and Eleanor, who along with so many, have also proven to be so adaptable during this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you for attending this year's Distinguished Alumni Awards presentation. Congratulations to this year's recipients.